Institution name is Srimati M.D. Patel Institute of Physical Science and Research, Anand. The course name is BSc Chemistry. The semester is 5th semester. The subject is Analytical Chemistry and its subject code is US05 CCHE 24. The unit number is 3, which is chromatography second, and its first topic is gas chromatography. Keywords are detectors and thermal conductivity detectors. Hello everyone, myself Rajiv Gupta. As we have learned many things about gas chromatography instrument, where in this gas chromatography separation of sample molecule take place inside the column, and after this separation these components go inside detectors from column, or we can say that effluents or elution or separated sample components reaches into detectors. These detectors detect these sample components one by one. As the components reaches the detectors, these detectors determine these samples as qualitative and quantitative way. So in this lecture today I am going to talk about some introduction of detectors and a first detector, that is thermal conductivity detector. Detectors are the eyes of gas chromatography instrument. See, the heart was column where the actual separation of various components take place inside the column, but the eyes are detectors, means the actual analytical instrument where the qualitative and qualitative analysis happens, that is detector which detect sample components qualitatively and quantitatively. So these are the eyes of this gas chromatography technique or instrument. The eluted solute particles, the eluted particles which are eluted from column, these reaches into the detector with carrier gas. Okay, the detector then produces electrical signals proportional to the concentration of the components of the solute. See, here only one component reaches to the detector at one time, then that reaching time of that sample component shows retention time. In chromatogram shows retention time in chromatogram a peak, and its concentration or its amount in the sample shows as a peak height or peak area in the chromatogram. So actually these detector detects these components according to their concentration and produces electrical signals. These electrical signals will be converted to a or analyzed by a data system and shows as a signals or peaks as a chromatogram. The signals are amplified and recorded as peak at intervals on the chromatograph. So in this chromatograph instrument, these signals which are identified by a detector or detected by detector are amplified and then recorded as peaks, and these peaks which are shown over computer screen as a graphical manner is called chromatogram. Detectors used must possess certain definite properties like some properties the detector must possess, which is the response of detector should be rapid, reproducible and sensitive for even low concentration, because we know that in gas chromatography we use very low amount of sample. So the all components which are present in our sample have very low amounts or very low concentration in that sample. So its sensitivity should be very high, means it should detect, the detector should detect very low amount of sample component. Also it should be reproducible, means if we repeat the same experiment, if we repeat the same sample, then it should give the same type of chromatogram, same type of result. And it must be rapid, because the uh, traveling speed of sample components inside the column is very fast, and these components reaches to the detector one by one very rapidly. So detector must detect these sample components very rapid, because if it is slow, then when it will detect the first component, then during this analysis the second component will reach inside the detector and it will create interference in the detector. And the second thing is the response should be linear or uniform. Linear response means, suppose if the detector shows a concentration or amount of a sample component in a first experiment, then if we double the concentration of that sample component, or if we triple the concentration of that sample component, then the peak under the area under peak of that sample component should be doubled or tripled accordingly. So it means that its response is linear for the sample components. If it is not linear, then for various concentrations we may get somewhat wrong results. So have to uh, why we have to see these type of properties? Because as I explained here, that time interval during which a peak passes the detector is usually 1 second or less, means one component in column travels very fast, and these all components which are present inside sample or traveling inside column reaches the detector to the detector one by one within 1 second or less time duration. Means if first component reaches at 1 second, then the second component may reach by 2 second or 3 seconds or less than 1 second. So its detecting speed should be very rapid. And also the concentration of solute in carrier gas is in only few parts per thousand or few parts per million, means it could be ppt level, ppb level or ppm level. So at this very low concentration the detector should be very sensitive. Based on the different physical properties, detectors are of various types: thermal conductivity detectors, flame ionization detectors, electron capture detectors. So first we see thermal conductivity detectors. Now first of all we see the general requirements of gas chromatography detectors. Some requirements we have already seen. We can summarize these uh, requirements in these points: high sensitivity, as I discussed; physically suitable. Physically suitable means uh, in this type of gas chromatography instrument, it should be friendly with our sample and our use instrument, capable of operable to up to maximum column temperatures. This is also physical suitability of this gas chromatography detector, because we know that various types of detectors are available. So which type of detector we have to use, that depends on the column temperatures and column types and sample types. Even we know that column temperature reaches to 350 degrees Celsius. So at these high level of temperatures, high value of temperatures, detector should be workable, because we know that column as well as detector and also the sample injection port, or the all the three components of this instrument situated inside a oven or thermostat. So this detector, in which our sample components should also present in its vapor state, so we have to provide this type of high temperature inside this detector, so it should be operable at these high temperature values. Now ease of operation means detector operation should be easy. No response to undesired compounds means if our sample contains some type of impurities in very less amounts, some type of other components or impurities, so it should not respond to these impurities. Means we only want to see only our real components in our sample. Response to compounds, because if there are some impurities or some other interference occur in detector, then we may get more peaks, more and more peaks other than our actual sample peaks. Response to compounds for which analysis is required, the same thing as I described. An output signal which is a linear function of the concentration of sample in the detector. This is I already discussed. Linear response extending to higher concentration means if we move from lower concentration to higher concentration of sample components, then its response should be linear. Means suppose our sample uh, our sample component has 10% fraction in the sample. Now suppose we take a sample where it has 80% its contribution, then it should give a linear response. Means if peak area is x for that 10% sample component, so it should be 8x. The peak area should be 8x, means 8 times for this type 80% of that sample component. So it should give a linear response, almost linear response for various concentration of that same sample component. Now thermal conductivity detectors, TCD. So what is the basic working principle of this detection system is the thermal conductivity of different gases is different. So what is thermal conductivity? Means some gases uh, becomes more heated or gain more heat, or we can say that if we provide same heat to two gases, so one gas will get higher temperature by providing the same heat, but the other gas will get lower temperature increase. So that higher temperature increasing gas has higher thermal conductivity. Also we can say if a gas is filled in a box, in a container, in a airtight container, and then if we heat this container, then this gas molecules will homogeneously contribute or distribute these heat inside the complete volume of the container. Means the gas molecules which are present at the very contact surface of this container will be equally heated or will gain same temperature as the bulk volume. So the bulk of gas will get the same temperature. when it is heated. So these type of gases will have higher thermal conductivity. So we know that various sample components which are in its gaseous state, and also we use carrier gas or mobile phase in gas chromatography instruments. So these all type of gases in column have different thermal conductivity. So this is the principle of this detection system. TCD is based upon the fact that the heat loss from a filament depends upon the thermal conductivity of the system, of the stream of surrounding gas, as well as its specific heat. So this is the actual instrument a block diagram of this thermal conductivity detector, where we can see that the two filaments are present, two metal filaments like we can say that tungsten filament or other metal, inert metal type filaments, which are heated during this experiment, during this detection. These are heated, and when the carrier gas and sample gas passes through these filaments, then these gases absorb heat from these heated filaments, and this absorption of heat from these filaments is different from different type of samples or different type of gases. Means this absorption of gas is different for carrier gas, and it is also different or uh, for this sample vapor. So for sample vapors and for pure carrier gas or neat carrier gas, these absorption of heat from these filaments are different. So what we say, TCD is based upon the fact that the heat loss from a filament, see, as we have seen the filament heat loss, because the carrier gas and sample molecules in gas phase passes through these filaments, so these gases absorb heat from these filaments, and these filaments losses heat. Okay, so this loss of heat from the filament depends upon the thermal conductivity of stream of surrounding gas which is passing through these columns. So as only carrier gas is passing or this other sample component is passing inside this stream, in this stream, so this absorption of heat will be different for different type of sample components and also for carrier gas. So this heat loss will be different. So depending on this nature of that gas molecules which have different thermal conductivity, which gas contains more thermal conductivity will absorb more heat from filament, and the gas molecules or gas which has less thermal conductivity will absorb lesser heat from these filaments. So this is the basic concept or simple principle of this thermal conductivity detectors in gas chromatography instrument. When only carrier gas flows, heat loss to metal block is constant, also filament temperature remains constant, as we have seen that during conditioning of column, only carrier gas flows inside the instrument for even for many hours. So during that time the temperature loss heat loss from these metal blocks or these filaments, metal blocks of these columns which provides thermostat, and also these filaments of this detector remains constant. Okay, when we insert our actual sample inside the sample injection port, then when these sample components travel inside the column, then these temperature of filament change will be observed. When only analyte species flows past the filament, generally thermally conductivity changes. Okay, when these analyte species means sample component passes through these filaments, due to changed thermal conductivity of these sample analyte, these absorb somewhat uh, more or less heat from these filaments, and due to this temperature change of two filaments in these detectors, we see signals. The imbalance between control and sample filament temperature is measured and a signal is recorded. See, imbalance between control and sample filament. What is control filament and what is sample filament? See here. The first one is this filament is control filament, and this second one is sample filament. We can see in this diagram that this in shows the inlet of carrier gas, where the carrier gas is flowing from this carrier gas tank to regulator and through regulator to this column. So column starting point or head, column head is actually here. So before this type of filament is present, both the filament are exactly same. So this filament which is just ahead, which present at head of column, here only carrier gas is passing during experiment. But when we inject sample from this side in sample injection port, the sample converts into vapor phase and travel in this column, and when these sample components comes into contact with this second filament, which is called sample filament, now this second filament temperature change take place, because here with carrier gas we can also see the vapors of sample components. So this filament is in contact only with carrier gas. This first filament is in contact only with, or the only carrier gas passes through from this first filament. But during actual experiment, this second filament also also show interaction with these sample component vapors. So these both filament temperature changes during experiment, and this temperature change actually shows as a electrical signal in this type of instrumentation. Here we can see that this filament actually are, this is complete a like a Wheatstone bridge which is very sensitive, and when there is temperature change occurred in these filaments, then these different temperature shows signals as output as an electrical signal. So here we can see again the imbalance between control and sample filament temperature. See, imbalance, control filament temperature and sample filament temperature, we measure and a signal, and this signal will be further recorded. Now this is the complete detailed description of this thermal conductivity detector instrument. Or two tungsten or platinum filaments are placed in path of carrier gas. As I shown, two tungsten filaments are placed in path of carrier gas. These are the two filaments, first filament and second filament. First filament we can say carrier gas filament, and second filament we can say as sample filament. But before actual experiment, means before injecting sample, these both filaments are, we can say, same type, because only carrier gas is passing through this column. One just ahead the injector chamber, this is just ahead the injector chamber. Second just after end of the column, this second filament is just after end of the column. This block is known as detector. See, this block which is shown here as a dotted line, actually this work as a detector in this type of instrument. It actually work as detector, where temperature difference between these show as a signal. It is heated electrically. These filaments are connected to a power source or battery, and by these these are heated by this power source. These filaments are connected to Wheatstone bridge circuit. This is Wheatstone bridge circuit, amplifier and recorder. Here this is amplifier and recorder. The gas passing through the first coil is only a carrier gas. Carrier gas could be hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, whatever, as we have learned in previous lectures. Its thermal conductivity is very high. Generally, for that type of experiments or detections where we have to use hydrogen or helium, generally we use these type of thermal conductivity detector, because hydrogen, helium gases are very less dense gases, and these gases have very high thermal conductivity, but our sample molecules or sample components will have comparatively lesser thermal conductivity. So here the difference will be clear. So generally hydrogen or helium gases generally used where we apply these type of thermal conductivity detectors. So these are very high for this. As a result, it absorbs relatively more heat from the coil or from the filament. So these gases which have high thermal conductivity, these absorbs relatively more heat from the coil. Relatively more heat means relative to our sample, means our sample components will absorb lesser heat from these coils or filament, but these carrier gas will absorb relatively more heat from these coils. So the gas passing through the second coil is a mixture of carrier gas, means when the actual experiment starts, the sample molecules or sample component mixed with these carrier gas, and this mixture passes through the second filament. Okay, now the thermal conductivity of this gaseous mixture is relatively low, because generally our sample which contains organic compounds, these organic compound vapors generally have very less thermal conductivity. So overall this gaseous mixture has lower thermal conductivity and it absorbs lesser heat from the filaments, from the second filament. As a result, the heat absorbed by this gas mixture from the second coil or second filament is relatively less. So what we see during actual experiment, when we inject sample, the temperature drop for the first coil or first filament is higher, but for the second coil or second filament it is lower, because the thermal conductivity of our sample vapors is lower. Therefore the temperature of second coil will be relatively high, because absorption of temperature is low, absorption of heat is low in second coil. So second coil temperature will be high and first coil temperature is low during experiment. So this temperature change between two coils will produce change of conductance. Here the conductance is electrical conductance. This temperature change between two coils will produce change of conductance. Change of conductance which? Change of platinum or tungsten filament conductance, that is electrical conductance. As we know that the electrical conductance directly depends on the temperature of that used metal. So one filament has high temperature, other filament has lower temperature, so the electrical conductance of both the filaments will be different. So current passing through these filaments, both the filaments will be different, and this difference between passing currents of these two coils or two filaments will be recorded as signal. Okay, this small change, actually this is completely a type of Wheatstone bridge which controls this experiment and record these signals. This small change of conductance is amplified and recorded, because this temperature change of both the coils could be very low, difference could be very low, so the signal intensity could be very low, so it will be amplified by specific devices and then recorded as a peaks of various samples. Thermal conductivity detectors are simple, inexpensive, accurate and non-destructive to the sample. So these are some advantages of these TCD, thermal conductivity detectors, where These detectors are very simple, their operation is very simple. These are inexpensive, means very low cost, and accurate, means gives same type of results if we repeat the same sample for many times. And also non-destructive. What is the meaning of non-destructive? That during experiment our actual sample does not destroy, okay, is not destroyed during experiment. Means if our sample is very costly, or after completing the experiment if we want to gain or regain our sample, then we can get this sample from the column and this assembly of instrument assembly in non-destructive manner. Means there is no destruction, no destroy, no decomposition of sample takes place in this thermal conductivity detector. It is useful for all organic as well as inorganic compounds. Both type of compounds can be detected in this. So what is said, what is the actual, we again see what is the meaning of non-destructive. See here, carrier gas is flowing, this is in, this is out. In carrier gas is flowing, here we inject sample. When these sample components separate in this column and goes into this second portion, then these also changes the temperature of this coil and by absorbing the heat from this coil, but there is no decomposition takes place of the sample components in this whole system. So if we see in this out or outlet, we observe that the sample components are in its native form, in its natural form as we inject. So here we can collect these sample components by various ways. So it is a non-destructive technique. This detector technique, this thermal conductivity detector technique is a non-destructive technique. So this is the another diagram of how the actual process takes place when the gases passes through these coils or filaments. See, the TCD is a non-destructive as I already described. Concentration sensing detector. Concentration sensing detector means if the concentration of sample component is higher, then the absorption of heat from the filament will be very lower, because higher amount of the sample component will have higher ratio in this carrier gas mixture, and it will absorb lesser heat from the coil because its thermal conductivity will be very lower. So it is very good detection method or detector, very good detector for determining the concentration or amount of sample component in that sample. A heated filament is cooled by the flow of carrier gas. This first diagram shows only the flow of carrier gas, means we can say that this is carrier gas filament, the first filament, where only carrier gas molecules, which are shown here by red color, these are flowing, okay, these are flowing. Then there is no change in this filament temperature, means both the filaments will see this type of flow before starting actual experiment. But when the sample molecules also go through this second filament, which these are shown as these triangles, blue color triangles, these are sample component molecules. When these mixed with carrier gas and flow through this second filament, then the thermal conductivity of this mixture, of this gaseous mixture, becomes lower compared to this neat hydrogen or helium gas, carrier gas. So these absorb very less amount of heat from this coil, and these both coils feel a temperature difference. See, this is first coil, this is second coil. In this first, the temperature of coil will be higher, but in this second filament or coil, the temperature will be in this first coil the temperature will be higher, the coil temperature will be higher, but here the coil temperature will be, sorry, the temperature will be lower for this first coil and this higher for the second coil, because here absorption of heat is lower due to lower thermal conductivity of this gaseous mixture. So when the carrier gas is contaminated by sample, contaminated means mixed with this sample, the cooling effect of the gas changes. Cooling effect of gas means is thermal conductivity is changed. The difference in cooling effect is used to generate the detector signal. The difference in cooling, here cooling is different. Cooling of what? Cooling of this coil, cooling of this filament. Here cooling is higher, but here cooling is lower. Means here temperature is higher. Temperature is higher for coil, but here temperature is lower for this coil. So this temperature difference or recorded as a signal. Now the advantages of thermal conductivity detector. The first advantage is it is simple and is inexpensive, as we have already seen. Durable and possesses long life, means the detector does not degrade, means can be used for very long, means its life is very long. Accurate results means if what type of sample component is present and its amount is measured accurately. Non-selective, hence known as universal detector. It is non-selective, means inorganic compounds as well as organic compounds, both type of compounds can be detected inside this detector. So it is universal detector, means can be used for various type of compounds. Now the disadvantages are it has low sensitivity. In some cases it has low sensitivity because the gas flow inside the column is very fast, and there is a possibility that the mixture of gases sample and carrier gas mixture may not change the temperature of the filament in that extent which is required. So for some type of samples it could be less sensitive. Also, the affected by fluctuations in temperature and flow rate. It highly depends on the flow rate of carrier gas with sample molecules inside the column. Suppose flow rate becomes somewhat higher and slower inside the column, so the passing rate or flow rate of this mixture or carrier gas through the filament will be changed during experiment. So this may create fluctuations in temperature. Okay, fluctuations in temperature of filaments, means filament temperature changed by these sample components may be fluctuated by these change in flow rates of carrier gas inside the column. So this is all the description of thermal conductivity detector. So we have read some introduction part and this thermal conductivity detector portion, its advantage, disadvantage, what is the working principle and its whole instrumentation, what are the parts, there are filaments. The main principle is the thermal conductivity of various gases or various gas mixtures will be different. So on this concept these detector work. So thank you for listening this lecture.